Hey there, this is Steve Quillian from Wood Window Makeover, and this is Lynda Davis. We are sitting here having a conversation about the business, and we thought that we'd share with you just what kind of happens behind the scenes and what the kind of things that we talk about.
There's lots of things we're trying to achieve, but the managing of projects and how to get the best productivity out of everybody, is like we're trying lots of different things, and then but everybody being aware of time is kind of the starting point.
How do we get everybody together, in a way so that, number one, it's not an us and them, and so that everybody is organized as possible, in their mind, because
but I think I actually think that the shift that we've experienced over the last month of everybody working as a team. I mean, even just the way we all communicate outside of work, we've gone from, it's already changing, especially like the office to the shop to the site team. It used to be everyone kind of doing their own thing, kind of, with a bit of communication. We've already, if you think about the last month, the way we're all communicating as a team and acting as a team and checking in with each other, and that's already improved. We've learned a bit from that about where the problems still to solve are, which is going to be a never-ending task for us, is solving those problems. But we all are all acting as a team now. That's a good starting point, and we all understand the interdependencies
and focus as hard as we can all of our talent right up front at the beginning.
And buying yourself the time to finish the project in a way that's the highest quality then at the end.
Because and here's another thing that we'll have to watch out for too is you start off the job. If you start off the job in a frantic pace, sometimes if we work in the right way, we're going to create a space for ourselves to do whatever productive activity that's going to move us even further ahead. The temptation we need to stay away from is to put one more job in that slot, where we need to put in that slot that we've created for ourselves an activity that's going to, be a company defining activity.
Well, look at last week we made the choice to take half a day to just talk about projects planning and have the team get together and talk about that. And that was so valuable. And if we can keep, that's a whole half day of time that, is money, but it's money well spent if it's, going to lead to better productivity in the long run. So say it takes 40 or 60 man hours, to get our act together. If that saves, 100 or 200 hours. Then it's worth it.
Then we're ahead of the game.
Everybody is starting to understand everybody's roles properly now. So I think that's
understanding better what the roles are. I think part of the challenge too is just being honest and honest with ourselves and realizing, that some of our old ways were deficient. And so in some of those old ways that are deficient, probably the best example, something we keep talking about, is how, we're so talented that we allow ourselves to do a job any old way. And in the end, we will bail ourselves out with our talent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a habit.
And so what we have, and so this, and so trying to, instead of bailing ourselves out at the end, we do a preemptive strike, and bail ourselves out at the beginning, knowing what our tendencies are, and admitting our tendencies, and being honest with our tendencies and say, okay, this is the result that our tendencies have gotten us in the past. Right. So look, let's just try to sidestep that, and so like one of the other things that we have to be cognizant of is that artisans are notoriously bad at business. They are. And so being real about that, okay, and intentionally sidestepping that and intentionally organizing ourselves as artisans so that we can maximize our effectiveness as artisans. And that's why organizing up front is so important, so that we can be the artisans that we know that we can be. And instead of using our talents to bail ourselves out, use our talents to build something awesome.
The other part of that as well is about this whole idea of a gatekeeper. Like, we've identified different parts of our business that have gatekeepers, and you were not the worst one, but you were like, you were the starting point, right? So, you know, the fact that you were a gatekeeper and everybody was kind of working to whatever you were saying, you know, was limiting the growth of the business. Like, there's only a certain amount of you. So you stepping to one side is great. But what it's done is it's created other gatekeepers, right? So now I'm the gatekeeper for some stuff, Jason. And so when it's a team effort, it's what tools we use to avoid that habit of having, you know, gatekeepers for each of the business activities. I mean, it's never going to be completely removed, but the more it's sort of a shared.
Well, I think it will allow us to rely on one another's talents better.
Yeah.
You know, because me as a gatekeeper, as the owner of the business, everybody automatically looks to me for certain things, you know, and, and just because I own the business doesn't mean I'm the most qualified to do that particular activity.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
But also, the reality is there's only one of you, and as the business grows, it's just a physical impossibility. Like, it's just impossible.
Well, the other thing too is if I jealously hold my position right there, then I limit anybody else moving up, and I have to get out of the way so that they can move into these positions that I currently fill. You know, and if I don't do that, you know, then they stagnate.
Yeah.
You know, and that's bad on me. That's bad on everybody.
Yeah. We're never going to grow like that.
You know, so anyway, well,
both like,
yeah, but these are the kind of conversations that we have, you know, in our office, and I think it's really kind of cool to be able to share them with you, and so that you can see that, hey, you know, we're just people, you know, and the problems that we're trying to solve, I mean, they're really important problems, but we know that if we do solve them, there's a great reward in solving them. And so, you know, artisans, and sometimes they are their own biggest problem, you know, and getting beyond the artisan way of doing things, which, you know, it can be counterproductive in its own way. Getting past that's pretty tough. So hope you like this video. If you do, click like and share, and you know, tell us what you think.